I'm running out of time, every day goes by so fast. And every moment counts, baby, I don't wanna miss a thing.
Hello parkourists, and welcome to our first parkour guide. In this video, we'll be showing you some nice tricks with useful and interesting mechanics you can also use in parkouring. Let's start. Our first trick is on the Chernushka map. The setup contains two dictators with hammer standing in a handstand position. Here's the useful tip. It is only possible to stay in this position when using Dictator's default HD skin. Additionally, the Dictator Thunder seen near the target building is equipped with the vacuum augment, which helps increase his splash impact force. During the trick, the jumper drives towards the hammers and abruptly stops to tilt his tank. Then the other thunder shoots at the top of the hammers, tilting the jumper even more and sending him quickly towards the house. The jumper shoots the ground to gain some height, and the other thunder shoots the wall of the house to send the jumper back towards the hammers. With the help of the hammer's shots, the jumper easily gets on top of the house. This trick involves a very simple setup. An important bit to note, however, is that all the thunders are using the vacuum augment, with the exception of the jumper. This is done for the same reason as the previous trick, which is the additional splash impact force. Both the wasps on the side shoot the ramp, giving both dictators enough impact to make a handstand. The jumper then flies onto the hammer and gets shot towards the target house. The Dictator Thunder also shoots the hammer at the same time for some additional impact force. Here we can see an Ares flipped sideways against the wall, with the others surrounding him. This Ares is equipped with the mortar augment, and the jumper wasp Scorpion is equipped with uranium shells, allowing his shots to ricochet. Both augments are essential to the trick. The Magnum shoots his shot, going through the bottom wasp hammer and hitting the ground. This places a mine underneath the hammer, lifting it and the jumper. The splash impact of this shot also lifts the railgun. Once the jumper is pointing towards the wall, he shoots, and the bounced shot launches him across the hammer and railgun. They both shoot the jumper, sending him towards the building. Here we can see two dictators in a handstand in line with each other. A wasp hammer and wasp thunder are then each set up into a static wheelie, thanks to a helper. This setup might look like the wheelies from our first trick, but this type of scenario is subtly different, requiring the wasp to consistently drive forward to maintain their position. Both of the dictators shoot upwards at delayed intervals to hit their respective wasp, causing them to clash in the air. Upon the meeting, they shoot each other, and then the jumper is sent further towards the target house. This setup takes a bit longer than our other tricks. Firstly, a wasp railgun is helped into a handstand towards the bottom of a small ramp. He must continuously drive forward to stay in this position. Next, the Dictator hammer is helped into a wheelie using the default HD skin like in the first trick to maintain his position. Then the Hunter Gauss drives across a small gap to get stuck, hovering in place. Finally, a wasp hammer is placed in the gap the hunter is stuck in, and the jumper gets on top of the hunter. The wasp hammer shoots a slightly angled wall, bouncing a shot into the jumper, helping it into a handstand. The railgun hits the jumper at this point, sending it toward the Dictator. With the help of the Dictator hammer's shots and a charge shot by the Gauss, the jumper is given enough impact to reach the target. In this next trick, the two railgun titans are flipped onto their sides and pushed together. Then, a Magnum Dictator uses these side flip tanks to form a steep ramp on their back, pointing his turret at the ramp as shown. A hammer titan sits on the opposite side of the setup, turns sideways and aiming at the ramp next to him. The jumper is stationed above the ramp the titan is aiming at. As the jumper starts driving, the hammer bounces a single shot off the ramp, simultaneously flipping himself on the side and helping propel the jumper towards the setup. As the jumper lands on the setup, the Magnum shoots, pushing the jumper backwards towards the hammer. With the help of the railguns and hammer, the jumper reaches the house. This trick requires a very simple setup. The tanks are all oriented as shown, with the hammer hornet leaning on the mammoth. The jumper speeds towards the hunter, shooting backwards for an additional burst of speed. The hunter drives towards the hornet, pushing it up into the air, and hits the jumper with his shaft, pulling the jumper towards him, allowing for more momentum. The hammer and Magnum each shoot the jumper for additional impact. In this trick, a Twins Hornet equipped with the Plasma Turbo Accelerators augment forms a steep ramp on the back of the Railgun Dictator. The Railgun is equipped with the Death Herald Compensator augment. The Jumper and Hammer Dictator sit as shown on top of the bridge, both sticking off the edge slightly. Twin starts shooting, lifting the Dictator into a handstand and damaging itself. The railgun shoots to hit the twins and the other Dictator at the same time. This shot destroys the twins, instantly reloads the railgun, and lifts the Dictator and the jumper. All 3 surviving tanks shoot at this point, launching the jumper towards the house with enough impact to land. Those are all the tricks we have prepared for you today. We hope you enjoyed our guide and have learned something new. If you have any questions about the tricks, make sure to ask us in the comments down below. See you in the next one.